the fall. We're putting the final touches in just prior to the beginning of display. And they're actually the only helicopter display team in the UK at the moment, so we are very privileged to have them here at Teignmouth.
So Jim Richards in the lead aircraft, leading in the team. To begin the first part of their display, you see the landing lights on. Now, back in the day, there were a number of helicopter teams that used the Gazelle. The Royal Navy Shark, and of course, the Army Air Corps Blue Eagles, who started their display with a very similar manoeuvre to this. Breaking from box 4 into 2 pairs, moving left and right.
We will of course use it all 3 services of the armed forces for various roles, for pilot training, battlefield observation, light transport, reconnaissance. In the case of the British Army, it was used to compare observation posts and directing artillery fire after the enemy.
As you can see, the lead aircraft, very strange clothes sticking out the front. That's because this particular aircraft is in the colour scheme of the Empire Test Pilot School, where it was used as both a training aircraft to teach test pilots on helicopters. Very, very exacting type of flying, where you have to learn and understand exactly how a brand new machine reacts. So a very delicate form of flying, if you like, and a very, very concentrated one. And that probe sitting out the front had all sorts of air data equipment on it. It fed back to the pilot exactly what the aircraft was doing. So the Empire Test Pilot School, based at Boston Down, produces test pilots literally for the world.
And that particular aircraft was actually Empire Test Pilot School between 1991 and very recently 2016 at Boston. The second aircraft, which is on the right, is an ex-Royal Air Force for us, HP3 from RAF Tilbury, and also from the 27 Squadron, which is the Snook Squadron. Registration Zulu Bravo 627. The Chinook Force also used the Gazelle for daytime reconnaissance runs on low-level navigation routes that would be flown by the Chinooks later that evening. And it's a much cheaper alternative of using the small aircraft than using the much larger Chinooks. And uniquely, this particular aircraft sported with fantastic all-green livery for a number of years, and was only displayed last year in the year.
The number 3 aircraft, you can see, again a training aircraft from the Royal Air Force, an XC3, originally delivered as XZ934 and sold into civilian use in 2002, joining the team 2 years ago, I believe, that airplane.
Last but not least, number 4 at the back was originally a Royal Navy 705 Squadron machine, built in 1975. And in today's highlight, Mackinson enjoyed his first helicopter solo flight in this airframe back in June 1983.
As I was saying, the leader, Jim Richards, very old friend from the Blue Eagles. And not sure I should tell you that. The rule book says the Gazelle is not an aerobatic aircraft. You are not allowed to run it. Oh yeah. On a number of ferry flights to and from air displays when no officialdom was looking, I can tell you right here and now that Jim, Martin McGrath and a number of the other pilots actually showed me that you can indeed roll a Gazelle. You've just got to be very careful, because you've got to keep 1G on all the way around the manoeuvre, because if you don't, if you go even a little bit negative, the main rotor will come down and cut the tail of the aircraft off, which is never a good plan. We did a little fly helicopter with no tail rotor. Number 2, Andy Wellesley, flying for over 40 years, again from the Royal Marines and the Army Air Corps. Flew both the Gazelle and the Lynx from the Falklands, Belize, Bosnia, Cyprus, and all over Europe. Over 2,000 hours on Gazelle. Number 3, Andy Usher, again from the Royal Marines, fought in the Falklands War. Both those wars, and twice in Afghanistan, with 2 tours in Northern Ireland on the fleet. Now a commercial pilot in the corporate VIP sector, a job he describes as a rich man's taxi driver.
My vehicle failure number 4 is broken out of the formation by executing a pedal turn, a 40-degree nose up with rotation to the right, followed by a wing over. He's now going to execute a big turn to line up through the middle of the formation. So get your cameras ready for that one.
So that's right, 1 from the left, 3 from the right, and that one on his own is Ted Matheson. He's also the team manager. He joined the Royal Navy in '82, through 4 different types of service, including the Gazelle, the Triton, the Merlin, and with the United States Navy, their version of the F-76, the Seahawk. Flew in the Shark 220 during the 1990 season as number 4, and as the solo position, so very, very well qualified to do what he's doing now.
With the other 3 rows, and then position it into a contour formation, so you can flexible photo opportunities. All of these maneuvers are to give you as many aspects as possible of the beautiful Gazelle as they possibly can to give you the best photos.
You know what the best part about flying in the Gazelle? Its effective fitting is basically a polycarbonate fishbowl. You can see in all directions. It's a wonderful view. You can even see down between your feet, which is the rudder pedal, that's sticking out into the nose coupler.
I guess that's why it's such a good reconnaissance aircraft.
It's a perfect trainer for the same reason. And an awful lot of Gazelle are still in service with civilian owners, because it's fast. That Aston turbine engine, I mean, that's 1,200 horsepower coming out the back of that. Makes it very powerful, very easy to control, very easy to manoeuvre, very, very responsive. It really is a pilot aeroplane as well.
The team themselves operate in a space of landing airfield, they want it. And we heard what they're doing with ex-Army for Royal Marines and Navy pilots. And additionally, they're very lucky to have volunteer ground crews who give up their time throughout the year to assist in bringing this fantastic aircraft to display circuit. And of course, none of this would be possible without the generosity of their owners, Falcon Aviation.
Yeah, many thanks to them, because I'm loving this. I mean, I remember the Shark, and I remember the Blue Eagle. Well, I have to remember the Blue Eagles because I've run their website for 13 years. And got to do an awful lot of flying with them, and flying around the country in both the Gazelle and the Lynx was just an absolute joy. It really was. Not only a very powerful little aircraft, and a very fast one for a helicopter, as I said, when it was built, fastest helicopter in the world, but also really light and sensitive on the controls, really, really good front-left arm.
I believe the pilots also say she doesn't really have any vibe to either. All the pilots are flying this aircraft, seem to love her, and all these pilots are united in the love of this aircraft, and that's why they give up their time voluntarily to fly them there for it.
Running straight into water, ladies and gentlemen, get the cameras ready. on the brakes. Now, one of the interesting things is because of the position of the exhaust. Now, it's really interesting. You can look, the engine exhaust comes out right underneath the rotor. And on most of the military combat versions, as you can see, the green aircraft nearest us on the right, for instance, you can see the exhaust points upwards. Now, that means the exhaust goes through the rotor and is dispersed. And it was a way of stopping GCP missiles from tracking the aircraft because they couldn't see it. The wasp on the rotor mixed cold air with a hot engine exhaust, so GCP missiles couldn't find it.
And that high-pitched whine that you can hear, which is partly why it's called the whistling sticking note, is caused by the compressor intake system, which is right at the front of the engine.
Now, very strangely, most helicopters have a main rotor and a tail rotor. Normally 2, 3 or 4-bladed main rotor, but usually either a 2 or 4-bladed tail rotor. Now, this one doesn't. It has a 23-bladed tail rotor called a fenestrop. It's basically a very, very short, small can mounted inside a hole in the tail, which you can see when the aircraft comes back in. Now, it acts in the same way as a tail rotor. You can vary the pitch of the blade, to vary the amount of yaw by using the rudder pedals in the feet that you give in the aircraft. But what it does is it makes it much safer to operate on the ground because the tail rotor is hidden inside this tube through the tail. So there's very little danger of somebody getting hit by it.
The fenestrop, and that derives from the French word, fenêtre, meaning window.
Well, you know the thing you learn something every day? Well, I was a kid, I didn't know that. No, I really didn't.
You can't say wow.
It is lovely to see that. Because helicopter display flying, as you can imagine, is very much more difficult than fixed-wing display flying. Because just because the aircraft is pointing